Hello everybody, it's Daniel here, and welcome on back to Showdown Sunday, competitive Pokemon battling. So this week I want to try a couple of things I haven't tried in a while once again, and it's a combination of this Mega Sceptile here and this Togekiss. And Togekiss is a very interesting one because Togekiss seems to be a counter to a lot of things in the current meta. There's a lot of sort of like bulky, wallish Pokemon that are just impossible to get past, and Togekiss is actually a really good answer to them, as well as being a very nice fighting type wall. And that's kind of significant as well, because we don't really have too many of them that are actually that great. Like, the most obvious answers to fighting types is to run something like grass types. Well, it's not grass type, ghost types. But a lot of them now pack the dark type moves, so it's actually not that great. So Togekiss is kind of like a dedicated shutdown to them with the combination of fairy and flying type. But let's go through the team here though, because this is basically a team that has a lot of power on it and just looks a bit weird. And we're talking about why it's a bit weird in the near future. In a moment or two, even. So Mega Sceptile here, nothing too out of the ordinary here. It's just a Leaf Storm, Dragon Pulse, HP Ice, and Earthquake set. I've gone for to prioritize speed because I want to be able to outspeed a couple of things with Choice Scarf that very often can have it. Most notably, things like Rotom Wash have it. So the amount of speed I have here means I should be faster than them, unless I've gone, I believe, completely max out in it. But even then, it's close. So that's pretty nice. And EQ is a physical type move to hit some of these special walls I might come up against, which is quite handy to have. This is a Rotom set that you've seen like actually 2 weeks ago. It's simply a trick Rotom with choice specs. I'm actually going for T-Wave on this one simply to slow down some other things on the enemy team, because we have a lot of powerful things in this team in the later half of it, and just having that bit of a speed advantage is actually a bit nicer than having the burn. Particularly so because we already have a Toxic on the heat round, so we're going to have enough stats, we don't really need the burn. It's quite nice. And Togekiss as well is the only thing that we really appreciate the burn more than anything, because it's the physical wall for the team. Basically this guy's job is to block the fighting type moves. And that's kind of it. It's very, very strong for breaking through a lot of the walls. Just because it's very, very tough to get through. Like, you have access to Roost, Heal Bell, you have Nasty Plot to power up your Air Slashes, and you also have the nice benefit of Serene Grace here, which means you're going to get a lot of flinches off the thing. This is just really great though, because it counters like a lot of the bulky walls that you just see in the meta, and it also gives you a nice flying type stab, which is always a very nice attacking move to have, and more often than not something that's lacking on quite a lot of teams. So very happy with this Togekiss set. And next couple of things in the team, we have a Heatran. This is a set I've used a million times before, simply because it's a very reliable set. I do really think Heatran is a great Pokemon, so we're using it again, especially defensive. Stealth Rock, Toxic, Protect, Lava Plume. We're going with an Excadrill here simply because Togekiss is not going to appreciate having Stealth Rock, and this team relies on having quite a few switch outs to get like better matchups, because you got a lot of things for general attacking moves such as deal damage, and because of that you're just going to be switching an awful lot. So having Rapid Spin support is kind of nice. I've gone for more an offensive variety of Excadrill as well, so I've gone for like speed and attack over HP and defense or something like that. And basically this guy's pretty great. He has a Life Orb on him, thrown on him just for some extra power, hits hard, spins away rocks. That's the job. Last up on the team we have a Choice Scarf for Lucario. The reason this is a Choice Scarf for Lucario is because I needed something to be really fast in my team just to deal with a lot of different threats, just in case like you get slightly overwhelmed. You have like a really fast Mega that's set up. And honestly, Lucario is the only one that kind of fit the bill. It's just kind of weird because you don't really see Choice Scarf for Lucario all that much. Like, it was kind of experimented with in Gen 4, but it really dropped out of usage by Gen 5. So I'm actually just trying it again here, and it's sort of weird as well because I've actually got the Hidden Power Ice on it. Simply because the answer to this guy a lot of the time might be switching something like a Landorus Therian. This basically means I'll be able to hit through it still because Lucario has a lot of special attack. And just close combat crunch and extreme speed in case it's going to be down to the wire in regards to the speed tile, and I simply don't want to chance it sometimes. That's why it's there. But overall, this is like just a bit of an odd looking team because it seems to lack like a lot of the power or a lot of the bulk that you see in a lot of other teams. It's why it is kind of weird, but it still performs surprisingly well. You just have solid, reliable Pokemon more than anything, and you do have to be a bit careful with your switches, but it still kind of pays off in the end, so it's a very, very nice team to use overall. Let's dive on into a couple of games and see if we can show it off. Okay, and what have we got this time? It's another one of those stally teams with like the Tangrowth and the Volcanion core. I've been seeing quite a few of these lately. I think this one must be like a popular Rate My Team or something that everyone's kind of looking at, because I've seen this team so many times over. Like, I really, really have. But okay, that's not going to change how we play around this. Honestly, Rotom is probably just the best lead because we have that bit of switch advantage. Even if he starts with something like the Tangrowth, we're in a pretty nice spot because we can basically just Volt Switch into something else. And we're just going to immediately go for that. That did a surprising amount of damage as well. This must be a more offensive Tangrowth. Okay, well that's something to consider. Even based on the amount of damage that did, I know for certain that Mega Sceptile is probably going to be able to kill it with a Hidden Power Ice. So we're going to basically get in our Mega Evolution just a bit early. He can Toxic us if he likes, that's actually honestly fine. I'm not too fussed about that. We just want to Mega Evolve and just get this off, because it means that we're going to have significantly faster speed. And we're going to want that for dealing with the Weavile, like, more than anything. It's just going to put us in a really, really solid position once we have that. Let's just go for the Hidden Power Ice and take out the Tangrowth. It seems to be a very weird set though if it's running Toxic and the Volt Switch does that much damage to it, because it must be a physically defensive one. Although Tangrowth does have a lot of special defense. I'm honestly surprised that I was able to kill that thing so easily, because normally they're more bulky sort of walls. But this honestly puts us in a fantastic position, because if you look at the team, we basically need to get a bit of chip damage, and then Sceptile is going to be able to basically take the game in a lot of ways. Scizor will be a bit problematic. Weavile, once it gets a bit of initial damage, is done. Latias is fine. Landorus is fine. Volcanion's the awkward one. Because, like, while we could Earthquake this, it's probably going to live it. So, we gotta consider what we're gonna do here. You gotta go for the Fire-type move or the Ice-type move. Either way, we probably just want to switch in Rotom. And I think we're gonna want to trick away our item this game as well, simply because we have that guy resisting the... Oh wow, he's actually gonna switch into that. Okay, that's fine. We have this guy though resisting the electric type attacks, and we have this guy resisting the water type attacks. When you have that sort of like kind of split, best thing to do is just get rid of your item. Like, I'm just going to do this here, and we're going to find out what kind of set this is. Choice Specs. Choice Specs? Oh, okay. Well, that is interesting. So this guy is indeed a weirdo then. My god. Okay, well, let's just go for a Volt Switch then. Let's see how he's going to play it. I'm very curious as to what kind of set this is running. Oh, we'll never know. Wow. Goodbye, Volcanion. We hardly knew you. We can go into Lucario here, and the reason that we go into Lucario is simply because we have the Choice Scarf. We might be able to catch something off guard here. Like, if he switches in Latios as the answer to Lucario, we pretty much can kill it with a Crunch, just like that. So that's just very, very nice to have, and he might not be expecting it. If he goes into the Landorus, we do have Hidden Power Ice. We can basically just rack up damage on it. We've been disconnected because the server was busy. That's unfortunate. We're back. There we go. Okay, so Lucario. There we go. Sorry about that. We'll just start the timer. The activity timer is already counting down. That's not great. Are you still there, Death Spank? Have we lost you? Server seemed to just freak out for a moment or two there. There we go. We're back in action. So yeah, he's just going to go straight for the Landorus here. So, like, we could just go for a Hidden Power Ice, but we're probably not going to kill it. This will deal about 70%, so basically we need to get some additional damage off in this thing, and then we're good. What we can do for now is just switch into Rotom. That was a terrible play, because we might have actually had something to answer it. Something to consider. I'm going to go for a Hydro Pump here, because basically I deal damage on something else. And whatever I deal damage on, Lucario will be able to finish. Like, if it's a Weavile, Extreme Speed will kill it. If it's Latias, Crunch will kill it. If it's this thing, it's dead. If it's Scizor, it's actually fantastic, because Scizor might just die in one hit like that. Which was kind of the least likely one for him to go to, but he did it. That's just going to be another game, my god. Just strong attacks in general. Like, you can predict it as much as you like, but if you go for a strong attack, you're going to be losing health. It is something very, very important to consider. You don't always have to go for the thing that's like super effective against everything. Just chip away at them, and a Hydro Pump will kill anything eventually. Let's dive on into another game. Okay, and what have we got this time? Oh, this looks like a very old style of team. My god, Hippowdon. And the Heracross. This is very interesting. Okay. This is the kind of match where I'm going to want to trick off the item as soon as I can with a Rotom, so I might even lead with it just based on that fact. You might just want to lead with Hippowdon simply to get Stealth Rock up. The alternative is I'll lead with Superior. Superior is kind of disastrous if he leads with that. I'm going to go with Rotom anyway, though. We're fine. Okay, that's fine. So here, we probably still want to just trick away our item. It's really not going to help us too much here. Simply because if you look at the composition of this team, like, half it resists like electric, half it resists water. But the very nice thing is Rotom's going to be in just an ideal position after this. Oh, that's interesting. The Superior's got the Choice Spec, so it's just going to be locked into whatever move of its choosing it goes for. I mean, he's kind of forced to go for the Leaf Storm here. I know the Heat Round's a very obvious switch in, but we still kind of just have to do it. And we're pretty much going to resist that forever. Like, he can get that up there, but it's like, I'm honestly not too fussed. Like, this really isn't too bad for me. Toxic might be slightly more valuable than Lava Plume simply because he does have the Hippowdon on his team and also the Rotom, so we're just going to go for that instead. And sure enough, he's just actually going to go straight into the Rotom here. So what we can do here is actually, we don't want to reveal the Protect just yet because that might get us a kill later and put him in a really awkward spot. Like, you want to hold that as long as you can. Rotom can't really hurt me too much though. Just thinking about it. What's he more likely to do? Hydro Pump or Thunder? Well, Volt Switch. Either way, Sceptile's kind of good, but we want to get in kind of clean. I can just go for my own Rotom. Let's make the obvious play. Volt Switch, so we know how he's playing. He's playing a bit more aggressively, expecting me to switch. So we now just know that for the future reference, basically. Like, although we could have just stayed in the Heat Round and taken that hit a bit better, like, this is just valuable information that will ultimately win us the game at some point. Like, that's the idea. It's the hope with doing these sort of plays. Heracross. Ooh, I'm not sure how much damage this is going to do. I honestly God don't know. Bug fighting. I think the obvious play is to just go straight into Togekiss. We're going to just do it anyway so we don't cause any shenanigans. He's going to sub. Oh god. That's bad. That's actually particularly bad simply because Rock Blast exists, yeah. We're going to take quite a bit of damage here, but we will live it, so it's okay. Like, there's enough things on this team that are slow enough so that we'll have a chance to kind of like switch back later. Although with that said, we may need to like just stick it out here simply because if he subs again, it's going to be really bad. Yeah, we actually need to do that. That's very unfortunate. Hopefully he gets greedy here. And he might, though, just the fact that he's going for like the Volt Switch and he wasn't going for like the obvious play of sorts. Yeah, so like the obvious play for me here was obviously the switch. I'm not going to do it because I know how you're playing. So that's really, really great for me because this means Togekiss is even in a even better stand to live. It will live Stealth Rocks if he sets it up later. And now we're in the position where we go into Lucario because Rock Blast is coming. We're going to resist that so nicely. And because we have the Choice Scarf here, we can basically kill this thing before it does anything. So that is fantastic. The question is, what hits the most amount of stuff? Actually, go for the obvious play. Close combat the thing down, basically. Simply because I don't want to chance it with an extreme speed or something like that. Oh, he resists it because bug fighting. Oh, I'm an idiot. That was bad. That was really, really bad. But we're still okay. Sceptile is faster than this thing. It's going to Mega Evolve off. Wow, Sceptile's actually in a really good stand there. Just almost completely destroy his team. We basically need to take out one or two more things and this Sceptile is like good to go. Most notably the Talonflame. We can like deal with the Hippowdon, deal with the Superior. Yeah, it's actually a really good standing still. It's very nice that Heracross is just so badly injured as well. Like if we get the Stealth Rock, we can kind of come close to finishing it. Here I'm actually going to want to go to Togekiss over the Heat Round simply because he might go for a knockoff and this will be a little more valuable. The fact he's going for the Sword Stance indicates I actually don't switch it out because Bullet Punch is almost imminent. So we go for the Heat Round instead. There we go, life over damage. Now this man's been getting very, very greedy with his plays. So we're going to bear this in mind. He's going to switch into something else here. So what do we do? What would he switch to? Probably the Hippowdon. Rotom has a Toxic on it. We Stealth Rock, that's what we do. Because we're not sure which of the plays he's going to go for, we do that to avoid the potential like Toxic on something that's already toxic. Sure enough, there's the Rotom. That is grand. Okay. Now do we reveal the Protectors yet? Yeah, let's see. Let's see if we've called this guy out so much. No, okay, so now he's trying to vary it up. So there's the Hydro Pump. Let's get some extra toxic damage off of him. This is just very, very lovely because he's actually can go straight into the Sceptile now. Now if he goes for the Volt Switch, Lightning Rod kicks in. And we are in such a good spot. Like, my god. This is incredible. We Dragon Pulse first because he might go into Scissor. And sure enough, there's the Scissor. Yep, so we've sussed out like a lot of what this guy is doing, so we're now just in such a strong stand-in. Like, this guy is horribly injured already, but he might be forced to hard switch into his Talonflame, which basically means that it's almost dead thanks to Stealth Rock, which is kind of what I want. Like, we'll still be able to do something with this guy a bit later. Sure enough, there's the Talonflame. He has to go for the Brave Bird. He has no say in it. And since he has no say in it, we take maximum advantage of it and go straight into the Heat Ran. You greedy bugger, you should not have done that. I could have killed you. He's still playing it greedy. My god, like, would you look at that? It was actually a terrible play to do, because if I stayed in, he would be in such an awful spot. Like, Mega Saptile is faster than a Talonflame. This man's trying to be a bit too greedy though, and it's going to cost him the game if he keeps it up. Like, I wonder here if he'll even pull up, just go for a Stealth Rock. Place your bets. It's far too greedy. Like, he's just way too greedy right now. My god. We have leftovers here as well. Honestly, I'm like fine to just go for a Volt Switch. Sure, Superior, you have a choice specs, like that's great. I'm just gonna whittle you down some more. And Hidden Power Ice should actually kill you from this range, which is kinda neat. Because the only answer he has to this thing is to freaking go into Talonflame again. But even then, Hidden Power Ice is gonna kill that. So we just go for it. Sandstorm is something I didn't really consider too much there, but we're still kind of in an alright standing. Like, we can kill that Superior with a lot of other things on our team. We're just gonna kill it outright there. Like, fine, that's even better. Like, Talonflame is practically dead for him. That's the main thing we wanted. And what we can do is actually go out into the Heat Ran here, simply because we can stall him for a turn, just depending on what he wants to do. This man's greed will cost him this game though, like if he's not too careful about it. So here, we've really had to protect before, so maybe the answer is to hard switch into something. But whatever the answer is, it's actually just a really good idea for me to simply Lava Plume here, because a Hydro Pump is not going to kill me, no matter what I do, simply because he doesn't have specs on. But we could just go for it anyway. Because we're not going to be greedy. He's going to go for a Pain Split, try and get some value out of this Rotom. I'm not going to have any of it. So it's like, so what do we do next? Like, Togekiss isn't probably going to accomplish much at this stage. I mean, if you want to Pain Split this, go for it. No, of course he's just going to like kind of hit that down there. Still, honest to God, fine with me. Because now we have our own Rotom. And we could just Hydro Pump here. Should we tell I like the idea of just Hydro Pumping here. It'll hit quite strong. Yeah. Even if we just go for a Hydro Pump, then like he's pretty much dead in a moment or two. And like just staying in Rotom is actually just a pretty great idea all around. Like it works well. We have leftovers here, so we'll get a bit of extra recovery in. Basically, we're just trying to hit him as hard as we can, and that's how we're going to get him. Like, that Rotom will now die later if he sets up a Sandstorm and we get the Stealth Rock and Toxic damage off of it. So we don't need to worry about Rotom. Talonflame, if he switches in at any point, we're basically going to be able to kill, which is quite nice. And we still have Heat Ram, which is going to be like the MVP of this team. So basically all we have to worry about is the freaking Heracross, and that's kind of it. Here we're just going to go straight in there. Talonflame, what's the point in risking it? He can U-turn if he likes. It's not going to actually do anything. Sure, Brave Bird. Whatever you want to do, man. Talonflame's down. Back into the Rotom. Okay, and here's where Protect just basically comes in handy, because we're going to get some extra toxic damage off of him. He's going to try and Pain Split once again. What we can basically do is go for the Lava Plume here. He might be faster. He seems to be a more bulky variety of Rotom. I think it's actually the correct play. Because like we couldn't like whatchamacallit. We couldn't just Protect twice, so that was never going to happen. Yeah, there we go. 12% off. Let's protect again. Hydro pump. That's fine. Whittle that down. And now what we do to get switch momentum is we go into this as he pain splits. Watch. Oh no, he's actually going to miss the hydro pump. Okay. He decided not to be greedy that time. Oh well, we were actually a little greedy ourselves, but I mean it works out. We got a Rotom on the board now. Pretty damn good. And we basically need to get the slightest bit of damage off from this thing. And, I mean, Excadrill will be faster than it, so we're actually in a very nice spot, yeah. We can basically clean up the game with the combination of the Heatran and the Excadrill. Oh, actually, no, we probably want to clean up the game maybe a bit more with the Rotom. I think it might be slightly more valuable. Do we actually sack Heatran here then? Yeah. That's an interesting consideration. I think we do. Yeah. Because Hippowdon's not going to be able to touch the Rotom, but it will be like able to touch like the Heatran and everything else. So we just do it that way. Okay, now we go into this. We know we're faster. He might not know we're faster. Which is lovely. If he switches out here, then the Heracross is dead, so he's probably not going to switch, so we just EQ. There we go. And now we basically cause as much damage as we can before we switch in Rotom, and then we just Hydro Pump to finish. And that's pretty much what it's going to come down to. Now he's got Slack off, which is the only thing, so this will come down to a Hydro Pump actually hitting. What we kind of want to do is get a Rapid Spin in, because we don't want these rocks here, because Rotom's not going to appreciate it. We will have Sandstorm to contend with. It's actually a very smart play just to do here. He's going to Stealth Rock again, predicting the Rapid Spin. Wow. The greed on this guy. Okay, well, we're going to EQ him first then. Take that, my man. Whirlwind? That's weird. Okay, well, I mean, we pretty much win here. As long as the Hydro Pump doesn't miss, we've won. But there's no way out unless it does that. Unless it actually does that, and it did do that, and it's really making me sad right now. We Rapid Spin again, predicting the Slack off. That's really unfortunate. This man's greed should have cost him the game a long time ago. He's going to EQ this time. That's fine. Okay, we have a clean switch in for Rotom. Finish the job, little washing machine. For the love of God, land the Hydro Pump. Thank you. There we go. Oh my god, but we got it in the end though. And the fact that that guy was greedy most of that game actually cost him it. You could see that he was just trying to squeeze the maximum amount of value out of everything he did. Because of that, we were able to just kind of pick up on it and basically like counter him. Like, we very narrowly won that game, but what decided it is that guy decided to get greedy. So it's really something you just got to look out for when you're actually playing. Like, work out how your opponent's trying to play more than anything. It's more important than their team. And from that, you can just kind of win as you suss out their playstyle. And we sussed it out pretty damn well there, and we got a lot of great trades off because of it. And just narrowly won in the end. And I think that's going to be it for this week's Showdown Sunday. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This is just a fun and like odd team to use. Like, it doesn't seem like it'd do too well just because it lacks a lot of standard things to see on teams. But it does surprisingly well. It has a lot of wall breakers on it, which I just quite like. And it's just got some cool things I like trying out in it. Like, Togekiss is neat. Rotom is pretty much an MVP. Sceptile is always just incredible. Having the Choice Scarf Lucario as well, it's just kind of unexpected thing, and it works surprisingly well. Like, this is definitely not a weak Pokemon with a Choice Scarf, that's for sure. So thank you very much for watching, everyone, and I'll see you with something new soon. Bye, and thank you so much for watching.